chimichanga when I dribble to a dribble. But now you're queen of slobber and you're crying in the middle of a gobby Benihana. Hatchy, hooky, hooky, mozzarella, get you go. Reading around the collar, heavy petting at the zoo. You're eating Kumisanga on Wonder Woman with Madonna. Belladonna, there's a ram inside a riddle. Don't trick sayonara, and you're talking to a donkey in the bowels of Tijuana. And you run, and it goes and it grows. You tie a line to Baltimore and hang out all your clothes. It shakes and it wiggles like a drunken weeble, like a weeble.
And it's cured.
If you're gonna eat a pig, you might as well start.
Better read the S. Start at the S and work your way through. There you go.
All
There you
right.
go. There's Johnny's
Here we
five.
go. Johnny's 5. Fantastic stuff.
There you go. Did you just gag? What the hell was that?
If you're gonna eat a pig, start at the S. You just said if you're gonna eat a pig, start at the S and work your way through.
Well, you know that I don't know if it's true, but you know the calamari story, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna eat anything, start at the S and work your way through.
That's kind of standard procedure, isn't
I
it?
mean, that's a great Sunday night.
Words to live by.
Why would you start anywhere else? You know?
Okay. Get on with the podcast. Start at the S and work your way through.
Yeah, that's our philosophy.
They just have to figure out which one of us.
It only took us an hour and 27 minutes to get to something good.
All right, everybody. Welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Reggie Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, none of Mr. Radio PI, Mr. Harry Lugnuts. Say hello, gents.
Hello, gentlemen.
Greetings.
Very nice hat.
Very nice hat. Harry, you got a log on your hat.
I do.
You do. There you go. Is that, you know what? That reminds me. What is that the word log is on?
It's a pig.
Oh, should we start at the S and work our way through?
Start wherever you like.
All right, there we go.
You could be talking about pigs. You could be talking about logs.
There you go.
But there's one way to, and one way only to start. So
exactly. How are you,
come in the back door and hope you make it out.
Be ready to swim.
Oh, you're not lying. All right. On that note, how are you two gents on this fine June evening?
Well, for the next 40 minutes, I'm really optimistic.
There you go. Go. I'm optimistic too. You just got to be. You got to be confident. You got to be confident. You know, and I am. I'm. You know, as I said to you guys before the show started, I was going to wear a Knicks jersey and a Knicks hat, but I haven't worn it thus far on any show throughout the playoffs, so I'm not starting now. When they win the finals, the show after that we celebrate them winning the finals, I will wear it then.
You'll break out your Kiki Vanderway jersey.
I will break up my Kiki Vanderway jersey and my Knicks baseball cap, and I'll put them on. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
By the way, before we go any further, let's welcome Dave Scardino back to the show.
Hey, Dave, how are you, sir?
There you go.
Let's go Knicks. Yes, let's go Knicks. Go New York. Go New York. Go.
Let's hope so.
Yes.
Let's hope they can put an oven mitt on Mitchell Robinson's right hand so he can push the Jolly Green Giant around.
Yeah. It's pinky? Is that what the problem was?
It's his outside of his hand. It's
okay.
Basically,
So somebody on the Boomer and Geo show this morning called up and said they wrote a song, a parody, and it was here's to you, Mitchell Robinson. New York loves you more than you will know. Make a damn free throw.
Yeah, Boomer. People listen to Boomer Esiason, huh?
Yeah, Boomer.
About basketball.
What a major league asshole.
Yeah, he's really gotten bad over the years. Yeah. I of course had a little bit of affection for him because of his Jets past, but
he sounds like RFK Jr. and he's dumber. So.
Yeah, he's definitely got kind of a I know everything about everything. And,
this guy.
Yeah.
You met him, huh?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, he says low power mode.
Yeah,
your battery's dying.
That's because Apple products.
Boomer's sucking up all the juice. Sucking all the juice out of your phone.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what you both have in common?
What's that?
0 Super Bowl rings.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. You are correct. Actually, I consider the fact that I have more than he because I'm a Giants fan.
Because you stole one?
No, I bought the
stole one from Brady.
He's got plenty to spare.
You stole one from Pepper Johnson one night in Weehawken.
Now he gave it to me. It's a bar bet. He lost.
All right, so let me obviously look. You guys are both Knicks fans, so obviously you're happy about how the Eastern Conference Finals turned out. But give me your thoughts about the conference finals in general. Particularly, obviously, the West, because that was far more interesting.
Harry, you want to start? You want me to?
Well, I mean, look, I think the Knicks.
I'm gonna pour some whiskey while you talk.
I think the Knicks and Spurs are the two hottest teams right now. I hope this layoff doesn't hurt them. I hope we don't have Game 1 of Cleveland again. But this is even worse. This is a longer layoff.
By one extra day, I think.
If you look at it from a competition standpoint, San Antonio has played a much tougher level of competition and beat the reigning champs on the road in a Game 7 to get here. And I'm not saying the Knicks didn't beat good teams, but I don't really think Cleveland was on the same level as OKC. I gave the San Antonio a fighting chance against Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City had some injuries, and San Antonio found a way. San Antonio found a way of making SGA work harder for his points. And really, if you look at it, he had two great SGA type games out of the 7. So that was the success. So my concern going into this is, are those defenders on the, Cassell and Harper and all of these other guys, are they deep enough and are they good enough to get Brunson off his game? I don't know. I think that
Sam Cassell and Derek Harper.
Yeah, well, they're both Harper's from Ron Harper's son.
Right.
Here's the thing. I think San Antonio outcoached Oklahoma City. I think not putting Isaiah Hartenstein on Wembanyama more consistently didn't work. The Knicks, I think, are going to go in. They think that OG is going to be able to cover him based on stats where he's been the most successful defender of him compared to anybody else who's covered him for more than 100 minutes.
He's been the most successful the whole season. So
right. So we shall see. My concern with the Knicks is rust coming out of it, and can they match up to the defensive intensity and the size of San Antonio? And so I think they can. I think the key to this series, which is a difference maker, and he's a big number 2 on the Knicks is Cat. I think Karl Anthony Towns is the key to the Knicks winning a championship, and I think he will play well. I think he gets a bum rap. Look, you could say what you want about Brunson. Karl Anthony Towns has had a great, couple of years with the Knicks since he came here in that trade. So I think they have a chance. I think they need to take 1 out of 2 in San Antonio, and then I think the Garden needs to make the Spurs cry. So we'll see. The Spurs are favored. There's no doubt in my mind.
I have to ask you, where is that ice cream truck? Is it in
It's
Long
outside
Island or Denver?
Yeah, it's outside my window there.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not here. We're not allowed to have ice cream trucks. Only marijuana vehicles.
Only marijuana vehicles.
Well, you would think one would follow the other, right?
Yeah.
When the weed truck comes by, 2 minutes later, it ought to be the ice, or maybe 10 minutes later, it ought to be the ice cream. The ice cream or the hot dog truck. One of the other.
So Harry, you actually in Denver. There are technically crack Charlies, basically.
Yeah. Well, weed Charlies.
Weed Charlies.
Johnny, what do you think?
A couple things. One, look, I got to be, as Harry said, for 40 minutes anyway. I had 30 now. I got to be confident that they're going to do the job. I think the Knicks are a better team than the Spurs. The Spurs scare me. I've been saying it all along. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, the Knicks should play the Spurs. They should play OKC." I wanted them to play OKC.
So did I, especially with Williams hurt.
Yeah. So, but I look the layoff. Issues, as Harry, as you pointed out. I think, and I shouldn't say I hope, but I think that they learned from from that layoff before the Cleveland series and what they were able to do once they got their shit together in the middle of that game or in the second half of that game. And I think they learned from that, and let's hope they did, right? But furthermore, you mentioned, the Spurs beat better talent. And yes, we all know the Western Conference is better than the Eastern Conference. On paper anyway, right? We'll see what happens in this series. But, yes, the Spurs beat a better team in OKC than the Knicks beat in Cleveland. Yes, 100%. However, and going back in the other series too, before that, the semifinals of that. But my thing is the Spurs, the Spurs scores were closer. The Knicks were blowing, for the most part. They were blowing everybody out. So
the Knicks are schizophrenic. They lost 2 games to Atlanta, and then blew everybody else out,
and haven't lost since, right? And just kept. I mean, the scores that they were putting up, the offensive explosions, knock on wood, that they were putting up. I gotta believe, we gotta believe that that's going to continue, and that OG is going to do his job against Wemby, and we'll see. And Robinson can, put another mid on and get those boards and take care of whatever D he's going to throw up there.
Well, I mean, the Spurs are not just Wemby. That's the problem I have with the way the NBA is spinning this, and they're sucking his French cock.
Right, but
on ESPN.
I agree with you, but here's the thing:
well,
if Wemby's not on the Spurs, and there's a serviceable center,
right? No, I get it.
Are they in the finals?
No, but if Karl Anthony Towns isn't on the Knicks, they're not in the finals either.
Agreed, but I think it's a lot closer without Cat than without Wemby.
Right.
And the Knicks, I think the Knicks are deeper than
the Knicks without Brunson aren't anywhere near there. So.
Right, but you could say that's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's closer, kind of pretty much true about anybody.
It's irrelevant. My point being is that actually I'm not sure. I think that the Spurs without Wemby, with the talent they have, I think can probably, if they played in the East, would have a better record than the Knicks without Brunson.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they got good young talent.
They have good young talent, but that's another thing, right? They don't have the experience. Now, Wemby said something in an interview yesterday in Media Day. He said that he feels that they're going to do a good job in the finals because they don't have the experience. They don't know. I'm paraphrasing, right? He was basically saying that they're too stupid to know what this is about. or they're just going to forge through.
Yeah,
right?
we haven't been here. We're not going to get nervous because we don't know how to get nervous. Yeah, there can be something to that, but it's.
Let me let you in on a little secret. Neither of these teams have been to the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
right. But the Knicks have been there playoff series after playoff series this year, last year, the year before. They had the experience in Eastern Conference Finals from last year.
Yeah.
So they, for the most part, they have more playoff experience than the Spurs do. So
sure.
let's keep our fingers crossed and hope they do the right job. Hope they do the right thing and do.
I think it's gonna be a good series, and I think it's gonna go 7.
All right. Thank you. Here's what I'll say. To address, if I remember all those points. Rust, I can't imagine the rust will last any longer. I don't even think it'll last past the first half of game 1 for the Knicks. They're too good. But certainly I don't imagine they're going to be rusty past the end of game 1, even if it goes that long. So, I don't think that's an issue for them. I'm going to say about the conference finals in general, if you are a Knicks fan, if you are a Cleveland hater, if you are a Spurs fan, or you are an OKC hater, that last category ever growing these times, then these were great conference finals. If you're the average NBA fan, they were both duds.
Well, because no game was close.
Well, no, they both had a great game 1, right? Especially the Knicks and Cavs.
True,
that was historic.
After
that, I think the average margin of victory was, more than 20 points in the East. And the 5 games in between game 1 and 7 in the West, it was somewhere around like 15 or 16 or points. Just went back and forth. So,
and game 7 got close, but really wasn't.
Yeah, look, game 7 was the Spurs would get ahead by double digits, and then OKC would get back to 5 or 6. They couldn't quite get over the hump.
Yeah, they couldn't quite get over the hump.
But here's what I think. You know me, I love my conspiracy theory. So here's what I think. Tell me if you guys agree with this, but I think the best case scenario, the best story for the NBA is the Knicks championship. I think that's the best story for them. Historic team, haven't won in 85 years or whatever it is, 53 or something like that. More than half a century, and the old guard returning to glory. And listen, the Spurs, they're young, they're good, they got the future face of the league. LeBron can't stick around forever. Steph Curry can't stick around forever. It's going to be SGA. Brunson is not young. It's going to be SGA and Wemby, whether we like it or not. These guys are the future face of the league. So you got the old guard.
I love that when we talk about the NBA, no one ever mentions the best player in the league, but that's okay.
Who?
Just a center who averaged a triple-double this year. But anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. But Jokic he's sort of in between. He's not quite old yet, right? But he's not young. He's not pushing 35, I don't think, but he's getting there.
No.
So, but yeah. But he's never going to be the face of the league for whatever reasons. The NBA is not going to embrace him, and and it's a shame. I agree with you. It's a shame. But that's a great matchup, I think, for them. It would have been okay against OKC. That would have been fine. Because you would have had the defending champs and the two-time MVP and everybody who hates them now because of all the flopping and stuff. But I think this is the best story. And the other thing I think is after the sweep in the East, the NBA powers that be, which means Vegas, was determined to make sure the West went 7 games so the Knicks would get rest. And rust be damned, they'll shake it off. I think that was because just the way the games, there were bad calls going both ways, but it seemed like when the Spurs won, the game was called a little more fairly, and when OKC won a couple of their games, they got some big time help from the refs. So I think the NBA had an agenda, and it came true for them. And now I think they got, again, either team from the West I think would have been a good matchup in their minds, but I think this is the young and old thing. But I'm really interested to see what they do. They've addressed tanking, right? Adam Silver has addressed tanking. Whether that works or not, we'll see. But they still have the flopping issue. And if they don't do something about the flopping issue before the next season, I think you're going to have a lot of fans going into it distressed and disinterested in the NBA as it currently exists.
Just have the entire league watch the 1993, 92, 93, 94, 95 Eastern Conference Finals, and that should be the new rules for basketball. I'll have Gary Payton and the Davis brothers come in and show you what's legal and what isn't legal.
Yeah, well, I do like the idea.
And then we'll see just how fucking good SGA is when he's flat on his ass.
I don't believe, because I've heard people say, without the calls, he's not really that good. I don't think that's true. He's really good.
I think he's good,
that
but he needs to play a different brand of basketball.
Yeah, he doesn't need to flop.
He dives on the floor.
Yeah, but it's smart. If you're going to get the calls, then he's
the best. He's the best guard in basketball.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I don't disagree with that. But I do like the idea they're kind of kicking around, or at least speculating about, these things become penalties and it becomes kind of cumulative, like you get a certain number of techs or whatever, and then you get suspended for a game, So maybe they'll deal with it, maybe they won't, but
tighten up the traveling and let him play.
Yeah. Actually, let me pull up the chat here. Let's see what Dave has to say. Victor's going to do what he does. Can't let the rest of the team. The Knicks are better. Yeah. Okay. I think you're right.
Victor's going to do what he does, which is inconsistent. One game he's on, the next game he disappears.
Well, he also got the shit beat out of him.
Good. He deserves
in a couple of those games. Well, listen, your ex-boy Hartenstein should have been fouled out by halftime of that one game. Yeah, he should have. He should have.
Dave, 100% love Mitch too, but yeah, let's just say he said Knicks are a better team, and if their bench continues to play the way they have, can't stop them. I agree with that 100%, Dave. And like I was saying before, the Knicks are a deeper team than the Spurs. Knock on wood, the way they've been playing anyway.
Yeah, you guys live in a bubble.
Dave is calling it for 6 at the most.
Here's what this series is.
My call, and Harry already said 7. My call is they win game 1. They win tonight, but they win it in 6.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think it goes 7. Just to me, whoever wins, it's going 7.
To me, the fact that there's a couple people outside of New York rooting for the Knicks, this series to me is the equivalent of the first time the Red Sox went to the World Series and won. What was that, 2004?
4?
Yeah.
3 or 4.
They came back and beat the Yankees and then went on to win. And, you had some people actually rooting for Boston, like myself. And then I fucking regretted it. I hate to let you in on a little secret. The rest of the country hates Knicks fans. So,
but
aren't there Knicks fans all over the country though?
There are, but in general, the country, there's some sentiment towards the Knicks as a sentimental pick, which I don't think ever would have happened even back in the 90s when they were playing. So I think they have that going for them. I think there is a groundswell of saying, okay, this is New York. I mean, let's win something before Clyde Frazier is gone. I got
to tell you this, and based on what you're saying, I was talking to a Sixers fan the other day, big Sixers fan, not another a hating on other teams Sixers fan, odd Sixers fan to begin with, right? But big Sixers fan nonetheless. Number one, he's actually rooting for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, and you'll appreciate this, Harry. Before I started asking him, and before I even finished the sentence out of my mouth, he said there's no way Embiid deserved that MVP a few years ago. It should have went to Jokic.
Oh yeah. Look, and this, people forget, we love to forget about other players, and it's like the thing with Embiid is that he's a really good player, and if he's healthy, he could come back and have another MVP season, and we could be looking at the Sixers in winning the East. Mm-hmm. So I think this is the time for the Knicks. Do I think that they'll be good in the future years? Yeah, for a short period of time. But everything is lining up for them, and it seems inevitable. But they have to beat the Spurs.
They do.
And the Spurs were the second best team in the NBA this year. They were number 2 seed in the West. So,
and that's why they're favored. But my question to you is, the team that played all season, is that the same team that played in the postseason? You know,
on the Spurs or on the Knicks?
In the Spurs and the Knicks.
I think both teams are better now, and that's saying a lot because they both had pretty good years.
I think the Knicks are higher than they were.
Right.
More
right.
like more of a gap than the Spurs increase.
Yes, without a doubt. But the Spurs started from a higher spot, and the Knicks, there was a portion of the season there where we didn't know where it's going to go. I think the Knicks are deep. I think the key to the Knicks wasn't their offensive outburst. I think it was their defense. But it's a little easier to play defense against James Harden and score against James Harden when you're down by 30 than it is going to be against the Spurs team. Trust me. I hope you're right. I hope the Knicks win in 4 or 5. But I watch a lot of Western Conference basketball.
They're winning game 1.
This Spurs team
they're winning
is
3
really
and 4.
good.
They're winning game 1. They're losing game 2. They're winning 3 and 4. They're losing game 5. They're winning game 6.
You heard it here.
There we go. Yeah, listen, the Spurs probably, I mean, they were, I think, 13th in the West last year and didn't make the playoffs. And
they
said,
one of the biggest improvements of
a huge improvement. That's probably going to draw some fans. And
but it's the Spurs MO. They have these lucky years where one of their stars gets hurt, and then they pile on draft picks.
Well, right. Also, they sucked,
and Robinson played together.
Yeah, and they tanked Kawhi, 1 year. And
Kawhi and Duncan played together.
Yeah, and they got they got those 3 high draft picks. But for the Spurs, there's also something of a if the Knicks win, it's a return. It's a return to glory.
Let me just clarify what you said there, Pete. They got high draft picks and chose wisely with them.
Yes, they did a good job with the draft.
Look, the Spurs are a great organization. That's what I was going to say. They've been one of the most, other than the Bulls and maybe the Golden State Warriors, I would say they've been one of the more naturally successful teams over the last 2 decades. And the fact that they did it with guys who you can't really say anything bad about, with Popovich and Robinson and Duncan and Kawhi and Ginobili, and they filled in well. They got the most out of veterans who people wrote off. It's a formula. They did it for years, and they were really good at it. They had Bruce Bowen, who was one of the great defenders. This team is similar but younger and less experienced. They don't have that veteran presence. Yep. I do think that'll help the Knicks. The thing that concerns me about the Knicks is that I hope that they find a way of not allowing the Spurs to force Josh Hart to shoot 3-pointers. That's all.
Well,
because they all watch this show. Don't give them any hints.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is, as much as this can be a Knicks return to glory, this could also be kind of a Spurs return to glory, right? Because they haven't won the championship in 30-something years, right?
The Spurs?
No, when did they win last?
Didn't they beat the Nets in one of the two?
It hasn't been 30 years. If it's been 30 years, I feel really
like 23 years.
Yeah. Oh, no. Did they last win? 20.
I don't think it's been 30 years.
2012, somewhere around there, right?
Was it
didn't they beat Miami one year?
They beat Miami. Yeah, they beat Miami.
Yeah.
They beat Miami.
But yeah, I mean, the years with the Nets were 20 plus years ago. But my point is
2014.
And then before that,
2014,
2014, and before that was 2004, 2003. And then before that was the Knicks in 99.
Yeah. But they've got like 5 championships over the span of.
Well, Duncan has 5, yeah.
I mean, the organization. So this is not a team that won 1 or 2, and now, it's.
That's what I'm saying. They've been one of the most successful basketball organizations out there.
So it's 12 years since their last title. But so this could be a return to glory for them. But
a return to glory is not after 12 years. A return to glory is after 53 years. That's a return to glory. Okay.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, I think if you win more than one,
the Spurs are a young team. Look at it this way. I'm not. And look, the powers that be, the Knicks are going to win or lose, and the Spurs are going to win or lose. We'll find out in the next 2+ weeks, right? But here's my thing: the Spurs are a young team. They're going to be around as a young team, as a good, solid young team for many years to come. They're going to be. It's going to be as Harry said before. It's going to be Wemby and SGA. Wemby and SGA. It's going to be the Spurs and the Thunder in our faces every year, right? the Knicks have a very small window, and so and I'm not just saying that. Oh, let it be fair, and the Knicks should win. This is the Knicks' time.
Yeah,
they have the experience, they have the age, they have
It's right there. They should go
right there. Go get it. Get the stand finals, and then we'll go from there. We'll take it from there. I'm done. That's all I have to say.
All right.
Win.
Just wanted to say thank you, Dave. He appreciates what we're talking about here. So, all right. There's actually another sport that's heading into their finals. In fact, they've played one game, and no Avalanche. The hated Hurricanes. Really is this one of those? Has anyone seen the map where Carolina is rooting for the Hurricanes, maybe half of it, and then the rest of the country wants Vegas to win? I haven't seen that meme yet, but I just wonder what the breakdown is.
I'll make it when the show's 75% of the country doesn't know who the fuck is in the finals. 22% doesn't give a shit. And
the other 3% are Canadians.
There's 4,000 people in Vegas rooting for the Knights, and there's 600 people in Carolina rooting for the Hurricanes.
I was kind of checked out of following intently once Buffalo lost, because I was just all about Buffalo. And then I kind of switched allegiances to obviously Colorado.
And Montreal.
Colorado or Montreal, but yeah, I was hoping for a Colorado Montreal, and we all were. We said in the last show, and of course, neither of them got there. So, Harry.
Well, you know what? Let me wait before we move on. Let me ask you guys one quick question about a Knicks championship, or because Dave said the city and their fans are ready for a Knicks championship.
Oh yeah.
What is going to be worse for the city, a Knicks win or a Knicks loss? Or do you think it's going to?
What's going to be worse?
In terms of the damage and the over exuberance that some fans tend to have.
Okay, all right. Well, but this is not Philly. New York is not Philly.
No, but it's New York.
Hey, we did not destroy anything after Game 5 or 6 was interrupted by an OJ chase, and Game 7 was interrupted by John Starks. If the city back then in the fucking 90s didn't fucking tear something apart, they're not going to do it this time. Now, hopefully, if they lose,
and Harry was in Jersey for both of those games.
Hopefully, if they win or lose, they will drag Timothy Chalamet through the streets of Times Square.
Just on principle. Just on principle.
Spike Lee and Ben Stiller will drag Timothy Chalamet through the streets of New York.
Now, listen, I would say I would be more worried about the older guys like us than the younger guys. Because the older guys have been waiting for 50 years for this championship. Not that they're going to light cars on fire, but
I think the older guys are, if they win, are going to have, you're going to have people in the emergency rooms that can't believe it actually fucking happened. Am I actually saying this?
All right, sorry, didn't want to get too far off track, but
here's my thing on hockey, and last night's game was an incredible game, and John Tortorella has that Golden Knights team believing that they can win any game down any amount of goals. And the pressure that they put on Carolina yesterday was insane. It reminded me of, I don't know if I've ever seen a team just at will put that kind of pressure on in such a concentrated period of time after being down 2 goals.
They're the first team in I think it's in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals history that were down multiple goals that came back and won the game.
Yeah.
So,
but it was the manner in which they did it.
Vegas is winning. Vegas is winning the game in the cup,
which I'm all right with.
And listen, you guys know more hockey history or bigger hockey fans than I am, but Sports coming in. Yeah. When he came in and turning this team around, that's an incredible story, isn't it?
I want him to take over the Yankees in August.
He can do both.
He might have to. Yeah. Well, he should be hopefully done by then. With the NHL Finals.
You just come in and
just for the end of the year.
Through the playoffs,
that's it.
August through the playoffs. Done.
Yeah.
For the expanded rosters and a run through the playoffs, and then
I don't think he's under contract for next year anyway with Vegas.
I don't think so.
Well, if he wins the cup, I think maybe they'll do something.
Well, I know.
Yeah, maybe that would be funny if they didn't.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Here's your box. See ya.
Yeah.
Don't let the ass hit you on the door. Door hit you in the ass.
Don't let
the ass hit you on the door.
We'll call you in April.
Yeah.
Depending
Depending
on our
record.
Performing by 12 games and we're in third place, we'll call you.
Yeah.
So we like Vegas. You want to pick number of games? I know they're up by 1, but
I think this one's going to go 7.
5.
I think it's 6 or 7. It's just the nature of these.
Hate Carolina, but they're
not
really.
bad.
I mean, both teams are really good, but
Carolina's going to win 1. Carolina win the next. Carolina win. Game
I think
2.
Carolina's going to win 3. I think it's going 6 or 7.
I think it's 5.
I'll take 6. I'll go. Johnny, take 5. I'll take 6. Harry, you can have 7 if you want.
All right.
There you go. All right.
There we go. That's pretty much all we have to say about hockey, right?
Yeah, I think that covers it. We'll
I mean, it's like I said,
Vegas winning the cup in the next show. Right.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when there's just 1 or 2 games going on, we roll. We roll.
That's right.
All right, so let's move on to our next favorite sport and our next favorite segment. Now, John, I want you to concentrate.
I was concentrating. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah, there she is.
All right.
She's here for you now.
We have to find out who she is.
I know. So,
I kind of like not knowing.
Yeah, the allure of the unknown.
I just like staring into John Malkovich's eyes.
As long as you don't like staring at Jim Carrey and a pair of.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Yeah. No, I'm more of a Malkovich guy.
We get Malkovich. I just always remember that Bill Hader when he's interviewing John Malkovich, he's talking like John Malkovich, and John Malkovich says, "I don't talk anything like that." And Bill Hader says,
"You said exactly like that."
And then he calls his friend over.
Yeah.
They're laughing about it in Italian or whatever.
Yeah. No, that was something different. That was.
Oh, is that something different?
Yeah, it wasn't the Vinny Viducci show. It was,
oh, okay.
It was him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But look, the John Bon Jovi episode of the Vinny Viducci talk show is my favorite thing, other than Bill Hader's Al Pacino orders a mattress.
Yeah, that's 1 and 2. That's 1 and 2. That's 1 and 2. You're right.
The Vinny Viducci. And when John Bon Jovi finds out that there's a commercial in Italy where John Bon Jovi's pushing cigarettes on children, it's just, and then you turn back, the ashtray's empty, and then 2 seconds later, it's filled up, and then it's so good. If you ever watched Italian television, you realize that it took 3 minutes for him to watch a talk show and just get everything he needed for that character.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So today's just a quickie.
Yes.
It is just a quickie. Here we go.
All
right. Who is the only active NFL player ever to be
active
active
now?
Ever in NFL history? Who is the only in NFL history? Who is the only active player to be your grandfather?
Brett Favre.
That was quick.
I'll say Brett Favre.
Yes, it was Brett Favre, 2010. 2010, his daughter.
How do I know that? I mean,
you pulled that right out. I mean, that was.
Yeah.
No, yes, Brett Favre, 2010.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, say hi to Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
She's joining us. There we go.
So true, Howie. We were jamming, yes. There's a hi, Vanessa. There you go. Hi, V. There you go.
Hi, V. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was just a quickie. There you go.
One more time just for you guys.
10-minute quickie, yeah.
All right. I think we have a little more NFL stuff to talk about.
Really quick.
You're wearing the Giants uniform there. Actually, yeah.
Right.
I'm starting to worry about John Harbaugh.
Well, June 1st was you can start moving players around, trades and everything else like that.
He chose to move the players he could physically catch.
Right? So, all right. So the Giants signed, and I've got a couple things to talk about here, but let's start with the Giants. The Giants signed OBJ, all right, which is why I'm wearing this jersey today. Right? I got a feeling that he'll wind up getting this number back from Jalen Hyatt.
They signed Stephen Baker.
They signed Stephen Baker.
Zeke Mowat and
Zeke Mowat. There you go. There's a blast from the past. He could have signed Zeke Mowat. Who knows? Whatchamacallit? He signed OBJ. They signed Braxton Berrios
and Juju Smith, right?
And they signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Right. I saw a report today, and obviously it was BS. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was. They're like, "Oh, Kenny Galladay is coming back to the team too." Like,
Kenny Loggins is going to come back.
Kenny Loggins would be more likely than Kenny Galladay.
So when you're done pontificating, I have a question for you.
All right. I just wanted to say if they did sign Stephen Baker, there you go. I just wanted to throw that out there. There you go.
Yeah, John. Pictures of John with strange New York sports figures.
Yeah, Stephen Baker. There you go.
They all look so happy in those photos.
There you go.
That's because how could you not be with the fucking big goon next to you?
Right, exactly. They love me. All right. So anyway, OBJ, Braxton Berrios, Juju Smith-Schuster. Look, they're not all making the team. The Giants are going to carry 9 wide receivers. All right. So
they'll all make the team at some point. They'll all make the team at some point.
Right. Well,
maybe practice squad.
Right. But here's the thing. Like, I'll be honest with you. My thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts, and then you can tell me your thoughts afterwards.
Yeah,
my thoughts on OBJ. I'm not even going to talk about Braxton Berrios and Juju Smith-Schuster. It is what it is with them. But OBJ, I've heard so many people on radio talking to me. I've been talking to people. Like, they're like, what the hell are they doing signing OBJ? He's such a horrible locker room guy. He's going to screw up people. Look, he was with Harbaugh in Baltimore. If he was such a bad person in the locker room, there's no way Harbaugh is signing him. All right, it's not going to happen.
Harbaugh signed some old guys in Baltimore, too, that didn't pan out very well.
Well, whatever. If he's not going to pan out, then they'll cut him, right? But if he can – here's my thing. I think that he's there. He's not there to catch 90 passes. He's probably going to catch 6 the whole season, right? He's there like a third down slot receiver, right? At best. He's there to help Malik Neighbors get over what he was in that stage of his career.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
That's and mentor him. That's what he's there for.
All right. Harry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, here's 2 things. We're talking about OBJ, right?
We are.
And the Giants and the New York media is talking about OBJ, and the national media is talking about OBJ. And who are they no longer talking about?
OJ.
Yeah, OJ and Jackson Dart. So this was a move to get
Scatterbo
to change the news
narrative.
Cycle, the narrative. Number 2, I don't really care about all these old signings because, like John said, I don't think they're going to have a big impact on the team. I'm concerned. Here's my question to you. Does this kind of tell you that maybe the Malik Neighbors injury is worse than
he's not
letting on?
He's not starting the season. I didn't see it, but I heard a lot of people talk. He played in a charity softball game the other night.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you guys about. Actually, he could not run to first base.
I'm wondering if he's going to play at all this year.
No, he'll play, but he's going to play like half, maybe.
There's a lot of talk out there, John. They're really concerned about him.
A lot of speculative. I'm going to go season on the physically unable to perform list, and he's going to jump in. List, it's on the pup list. He's going to be week 9, week 10. You'll see him. That's what's going to happen.
Let me go a step further. Right? Well, it is like, they're obviously trying to find a replacement or 2 replacements. Let me take it a step further. Because with the softball thing, that's obviously bad press, and it's a dumb thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Hell of a lot dumber than going out on a boat. Speaking of OBJ.
Oh yeah.
Right, going out on a boat, and the day before the Super Bowl or whatever. Is this maybe a Giants? Maybe not
Super Bowl wild card game.
Well, still no. But my point is, it's a stupid thing to do because he's hurt, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to the game and sit and be there, that's fine. But don't, go up and hobble down the first base line. But my point is this maybe the way the Giants are sending a message, because this is not the first sort of speed bump, let's say, that we've had with Malik Neighbors, right? Big, great receiver.
Or any of the Giants. Or a lot of
right. But there's been a little bit of a diva complex there, as there often is admitted. So is this the Giants' way? Is this the Giants' way of saying, hey, man, we could bring in lots of other people, and if you don't get serious about playing for this team and getting healthy, well, if you don't get serious about getting healthy, then we'll find somebody who really wants to be on the field. I don't think they want to get rid. I'm not saying I think they want to get rid of him, but this might be a way that they kind of send a message.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that, but I hope you're not right. But that's interesting. I didn't think about it that way. I think that's really interesting.
It is interesting.
I think that Neighbors overall is probably a little better on the field and in practice than some of the incidents that have been brought to light.
Right. He's worth it. He's worth it.
The Giants know that this guy is their future for the next 2 or 3 years until his, whatever contract
is up and they sign somebody else, right?
So
right.
My point to this is that I think that they're hedging their bets on, all right, let's say the Giants are let's say they're good, they're bad, or they're in the middle. I think they want to have some flexibility with having to, if they're not going to compete for a playoff spot, then they might not bring them back this year. That's my take.
Well, they're going to have eight.
If they're not in the mix for, like, if they're not in the mix, but if they're not comfortably feasibly heading towards a playoff spot by week 9 or 10, what's the point of even
exactly
right? Yeah, they're going to have 8 or 9 weeks to figure out. Can we get there? And is he healthy enough?
Is this Harbaugh and the Giants' way of saying, okay, I'm going to get enough receivers that I could get through a season without having to pay a ton of money and build on this season and then really prep for next.
Right. Well,
that's kind of my take.
Look, you're not wrong. Neither of you are wrong, and I'll tell you why. Harry, that's spot on with what you're saying. And Pete, to your point, you're not. It's interesting that you say that about Neighbors. I never thought, as Harry was saying, I didn't think about it with Neighbors, but that's 100% true with Jalen Hyatt. 100% true with Jalen Hyatt. Look, dude, either you should have got off the pot because you were a higher draft pick, not a high draft pick, but a higher draft pick. You had good skills. You have good skills. You've done shit while you're here. Yeah. All right. What are you going to do? We can bring these guys in. You can go bye-bye. We don't care. Pick. What are you going to do? So I think that's 100% true about Jalen Hyatt. I don't think it's as true about Malik Neighbors, but it's a good idea. I think the Malik Neighbors thing is more what I'm thinking about OBJ mentoring him and getting him, stopping him from that, moving towards that diva.
Yeah, get rid of those speed bumps before they happen.
Have OBJ look at him and say, "Look, asshole, I've been you, and I fucked my career up,
and I was better at being you,
Okay.
Well, all he's got to say is, Malik, do you want to go to Cleveland?
Right.
Because they can resurrect. By the way, Dave says, y'all know I'm a disgruntled Cowboys fan. He believes in Harbaugh, though. I think the Giants' future is pretty bright. But listen, look, what does the media do? John Harbaugh, they hired him. Oh, he's going to turn the team around. We're talking about the playoffs. They could win 10 games and blah, blah, blah. Playoffs. But that's what the media does. Build him up, pump up the hype, and then when it doesn't work out, tear him down.
I think Harbaugh is a realist, and let's face it, the Giants have never, with the exception of maybe OBJ, the Giants have never been long for receivers. They have drafted and then drafted again and then drafted again, especially since the Coughlin years. They just don't invest long term.
I think the longest but they don't draft receiver ever is still on a team, and it's Darius Slayton.
Yeah.
But they usually, as we've talked about a million times, they don't usually draft them very high. There are some exceptions to that.
It's one area where the Giants do draft well,
right?
Historically,
but I think that feeds into the point. If we're not drafting these guys in the top 10, then we know we can go out and get another one later in the round, early in the second round. You know, they have an eye for that. So
2 years from now. Here's my question, John, because you know better than I do. What's the Giants' starting receiver depth chart without Neighbors to start the year? What
Without Neighbors, including these guys, you got. I mean, there's Neighbors, obviously. You got OBJ.
But Neighbors,
Berrios,
he's out of the picture.
All right, so without Neighbors, obviously OBJ, Berrios, Schuster. You got Slayton. You got Hyatt. You got and two guys that they
they had one they drafted this year. We'll see.
One they drafted this year. Yeah, the guy they drafted this year, and then two they traded for, just free agents they signed back in March.
Yeah.
So
who's number one? Who's the number one guy?
Who's the number one guy? Who's the number one guy right now without Neighbors? It's OBJ or Slayton, really.
Is it OBJ's take?
That doesn't bode well.
No, it doesn't. So. Yeah. I mean, it's Slayton, Let's go.
But listen, this could be. Look, Berrios is still young and dynamic. He could have a breakout year.
Well, he might be better off. See, I think he would be better if Neighbors was there because he could be a 2 or 3. Yeah, and so the pressure isn't going to be on him.
He's still probably going to be a 3 anyway. Yeah. But a guy like Schuster, he's not young anymore, right? He's getting on in years. But he could have
Malachi Fields, Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
And Calvin Austin III.
Yeah. So we're not talking.
It sounds like a rodeo team.
They have Isaiah Hodgins too. They have Isaiah. A couple of these guys are going to wind up on special teams too. They are and probably Braxton Berrios.
Well, yeah,
because
that's what he does best.
Because what's his face? What's his face?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
No, the kid last year.
Leon Bright.
Yeah, not so.
Leon Washington.
Leon Spinks?
I forget his name. I'll think of it.
That's fine. We're going in too far into the weeds.
No, he got hurt recently. He's out for the season.
Yes, and the Giants also lost a defensive tackle. But anyway, look, we'll see. We shall see. I think it's just. I don't think there's a lot of available receivers out there.
Yeah, but you know what? This could be a really good strategy. Just let's pile these guys up, see who rises to the top. Nobody is definitively, without a doubt, the number one right now. So you guys go out there and Harbaugh's he's that guy. He's got enough juice that he'll say, put up or shut up, or you're going to sit. Right? If you're not good enough, you're not going to play all the time. And he's good enough to say to any of these divas, anybody who might be a diva, knock that shit off. Show us you want to play, or you're gone.
James Winston, too, by the way, he's a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's going to be the H back. So that's No,
all right.
Nothing on the scoreboard there. All right. Let's do.
Okay, hold on. And one other thing. Yesterday or the day before too, Myles Garrett traded to
LA.
To LA, and Cleveland got back Jared Verse for him, which tells me
and a bunch of picks. They got quarterback. They got a quarterback package.
But it's 2 years from now.
Yeah,
2 years from now.
And I got to be honest with you. This tells me that this upcoming season, is Matthew Stafford's last season. He's retiring after this year, so the Rams are going all in. Let's do it, and they actually. There's a rumor out there right now that Aaron Donald wants to come back.
He's not coming back.
So,
if I were him, I'd consider it. But all right. So well, that's it for our incredibly concise football segment. Let's do a little question of the day.
Question of the day.
Yeah, question of the day.
Do you want it? Are you sure? Well, here it is. The question of the day.
All right. Here we go. Hit us, Johnny.
Question of the day is actually interesting sports fact of the week. I can make it a question if you like, but I'm just going to give you the sports fact.
Yeah,
answer it in the form of a question.
That's right.
There we go.
Who is no? So we'll do it like this. So no, I'm just going to give it to you. It's interesting sports fact of the week. Question of the day. Interesting sports fact of the week falls under question of the day. So that's what it is. So there we go. Barry Sanders has the most negative rushing yards in NFL history with negative 952. Negative 952 rushing.
Not net, but just
no. That's his negative yards.
Yeah.
That's the yards he lost.
Because he had imagine how much he had.
Hold on. The yards that he lost from the line of scrimmage was negative 952. Okay, but yet he still ranks 4th all time in rushing.
Mm-hmm.
And he
retired early.
Right, and he lost almost 1,000 yards over those years.
Yeah, where would he be? I wonder if. Here's the question. Retire? Well, no. Let's say he only lost 150 yards. I don't know what the average for a guy who plays. How many years did he play? 8 years, whatever it was. 10.
Probably 10. Yeah.
89 and 98.
So it's hard because his style is so different than anybody else. It's hard to say. Oh, but what's the average running back lose? What's their negative yards in a season?
Let's say it's the 150, like you said. Let's say
it's less than that. It's probably even the guys who carry the ball out. It's probably under 50. Yeah.
But
right.
For 10 seasons though.
Well, but it can't be that. I mean, that's an incredible number, right? That's what was it? That's 90 something yards each year over 10 years, roughly.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you would think it would have to be is the number 2 guy at 800 or 750 or whatever.
I don't know.
I tend to think the number 2 guy is probably at like 400 or 500.
Oh, they didn't count it during Trent Tarkenton's years. So
yeah, that's right. He might have been like 60, 80 yards on the plus side when it all shakes out.
He wasn't a running back, so they didn't count that.
Yeah, they didn't count
that. Tarkenton actually lost 20,000 yards.
Yeah, who was the other guy who always lost? I bet Walter Payton's negative yardage was pretty high.
I gotta look. I gotta
because he stopped and danced around a lot in the backfield.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's negative yards are not very much.
No. Well, didn't OJ the year he ran for 2,000? He had the 2,000, and then they put him back in, and he lost a couple of yards, and then he had to get back over 2,000. I mean, imagine if he hadn't been able to get back over. That would have been if he hadn't murdered 2 people, it would have been a tragedy. But given his actual history, that sort of would have been justice, I guess, if he hadn't gotten it. Anyway.
Here you go.
There we go.
Smith.
Edgerrin James is number 2 with 527 yards. Emmitt Smith is Fred Taylor's 3rd with 514. Emmitt Smith 508, 4th. Tiki Barber 5th with 506.
That makes sense.
But Barry Sanders is number 1, and he's got like almost 500 yards more.
Yeah, he's number 1 by a lot. Yeah. So I don't know. It's would we have if he had, let's say, another 400 yards, right, and he was in that 500 range instead of the 900 range, would we have any greater accolades for him? I don't know where is he on the all-time list? Is that yardage going to get him into 3rd, or is he just going to be a little bit close, less of a distant 4th? In other words, I don't know if that 400 yards we would there's nobody that should be saying, oh, Sanders, he was okay. Everyone knows he's one of the all-time greats. So I don't think plus 400 yards is going to make anybody think any more of him.
No.
But yeah, that's a crazy stat. That's a crazy stat.
All right.
Okay, Barry Sanders is 4th with 15,269. Frank Gore is 16,000 even. So he's 731 ahead of him.
Okay. So he still would have been in 4th.
Frank Gore played 40 seasons.
Frank Gore played, I was going to say 44 seasons, but
Frank Gore didn't go back. I will say this: he didn't go backwards very much. Frank Gore was not. I'm going to dance around him.
That's the one player that if the Giants signed, I wouldn't be shocked. Frank Gore.
Frank Gore.
And Walter Payton is number 2 with 16,726, so 726 yards more than Frank Gore, and then over 1,600 more yards than Walter Payton, of course, was Mr. E. Smith.
There we go.
Systems running back.
Systems running back, right?
The ultimate systems running back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very quickly, the World Cup is starting next week, I believe it is.
Next 13th.
Next Friday, USA and Paraguay, game 1.
Mm-hmm.
So Go USA. So far, we haven't seen any issues with anybody getting taken out by ice. Haven't seen a team running out onto the field, onto the pitch for a game, chased down by ice agents. At least not yet.
It's summer, so the ice isn't an issue.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I know. They don't like to wear all that gear because it's hot out there. So,
right.
But I'm looking forward to. Of course, I gotta say, I've seen the documentary about the '94 team is all over TV now, and it's just like
team.
the U.S. team in '94.
U.S. team from '94, yeah.
The soccer team, the women's team. You mean?
No, the men's team.
The men's.
What happened in '94? They
World Cup.
They made
the World Cup was here in the United States, so the host team, but they did better than they'd ever done before.
They did.
They actually gave.
What was that? I keep forgetting his name. Tommy something. He was
Tony Miola.
Tony Miola, yeah.
Tony Miola,
He was from Kearney.
So is John Harkes and Tab Ramos.
Yeah,
and he went up kicking for the Jets, didn't he? Tony Miola.
I don't think he actually made the team, but yeah.
So I saw all of those guys. I played Little League with those guys. I saw all of them play in Italy in that World Cup. The one before it, whatever the year.
One before it, 90.
Yeah.
No, 91. 90.
So,
90.
Yeah, it's a really good documentary, but it's even as a soccer fan, I don't want to watch it more than once. So
I don't want to watch it at all.
I don't need to watch it. I was there.
Look, it's the world sport. It'll never be mine.
No, and it'll never get embraced in this country.
No.
At least not until like football and basketball burn themselves down because of gambling. And I don't think that's a long shot at best, but
there's nothing football can do that will keep people from watching football on Sundays. Football is the perfect sport because it's mostly, now we know it's on almost every night now, but it's primarily concentrated to one day a week. It's on Sunday when most people are off, and it's centered around going and drinking, which, that's why it's so popular.
It's the ultimate social sport.
It is.
Yeah. And you really only have to pay attention to when the game starts and when the second half starts.
Yeah, there's not 162 games.
Right.
Only an idiot like me sits at home on a Wednesday night in June and yells at his phone because Garrett Cole can't fucking beat a team with a winning record.
Which is a shame that you have to yell at your phone and not your TV. So.
Well, it's because I'm sitting here talking to you, Gagoots.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and maybe we'll have some playoff stuff to talk about. It's possible.
Well, we'll have something to talk about.
If we don't, it's just baseball.
We'll have a lot to talk about. It's just we might not have a champion yet.
I think we'll. I said 6, right?
But we could have 2 champions by the time the next show comes out, right?
I think we'll have 2. I think we'll have I think
World
the Knicks,
Cup champion.
The Knicks will. No, we won't have a World Cup.
No,
I think the Knicks will be. Knicks will be the champs, and Vegas will be the champs before our next show.
So that's going to leave baseball, the WNBA, and the World Cup.
And highlight. Don't forget highlight.
I'm taking the summer off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do I have? I guess I got to add a highlight player to this graphic.
Our next show is not in summer, so there you go.
Not yet. It's not.
Not yet.
The one after that is.
Unless we postpone for a week, which we've done 17 or 18 times. So, all right. Anybody got anything else? No. Let's go watch the game.
Let's go watch it. Let's go watch it. You guys watch it. We're good.
See. All right. Knicks are up 12-7.
It's over. Forget about it. It's over.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
By the way, the only running back to ever average over 100 yards a game, Jim Brown.
Yep.
Yeah, and he left early too.
He left early. He left earlier than Barry Sanders did.
Well, they fucking made him play. They made him play in Cleveland in the winter.
Yeah.
Cleveland, the career killer.
He wasn't that good. He was just angry.
He's just mad.
All right. See you in 2 weeks, everyone. Thanks for coming on, Dave. Vanessa, thank you as always.
Absolutely.
And
spread the word. Friends. Like us on all those, apps.
Like us on all the apps. Like us on all the socials. Please, thank you.
Subscribe.
All right.
Follow.
Tell your friend about us.
Yeah.